Well, here we go. Welcome to Friend Date, where we discuss friendships, relationships, every type of ships there is, life's problems, and everything in between. I'm Shawana, and this is my friend Sonia.
Hey guys.
And we basically decided to start this blog as a way to, um, for one, as a way to build our friendship with each other. And for two, we decided that some of the topics that we discuss may be beneficial for others. Others may want to hear it. We are big on friendship. We celebrate our friendship in many, many ways. Um, and well, this first episode, just keeping it real, is virtual because Chicago is Chicagoing. We could not get together today and do it live, but we said we doing this shit anyway because that's who we are.
Period.
So, so we got our wine here. Cheers, friend. And we are going to discuss what we normally discuss. So today we decided we're going to this. One of the things that Sonia and I have in common is that we're the HBICs in our household. And if you don't know what HBIC is, that's the head bitch in charge. So a lot of people, sometimes people don't understand there's a lot of stress that comes with running the household. And one of the major things that I think that affects us when we run a household is that we sometimes neglect ourselves. And so that's what we're discussing today with wine. I'm drinking, what you drinking, friend?
Pinot Grigio as per usual.
As usual, that's my girl. And I am drinking Stella Rosa Red, semi-sweet.
Mm-hmm. Delicious. I love them. So, yeah, friend, the head bitch in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what came to mind with that introduction, which was great, by the way, good job, friend, is that a lot of, unfortunately, Black households are headed by single Black women. They said like at least 70%. So I know a lot of us will relate to having to be HBICs. And let me just first start that I would say that most of us don't want to be. We don't want to be.
No, we don't. I celebrate independence. I love being an independent woman, but I feel like I can be independent and still not have to run a household. You know what I'm saying? Um, I guess it kind of go hands in hand, but most of us we didn't have a choice but to be independent.
Exactly. And
You
I
know.
mean,
Mhm.
yes, I guess historically people would say that we made the choice when we, start kicking our men out, in favor of welfare after Lyndon B. Johnson. I think that was the president, child. I've been drinking already. So we'll hope that the facts
Oh,
are the
yeah,
facts
I'm
that I'm
like,
spitting.
look at these times. I'm like, man, friend went back. Was
Uh,
he?
because that's where it started. Like that's where it started when, Black women went basically put our men out in lieu of trying to get, assistance from the government. We wanted, welfare and health care for our children and all of that. So that's my understanding. Like I'm a person that I'm always learning or whatever. So if I receive new information and that ain't the truth, then I will change my opinion. But from what I've learned thus far, like basically that's what happened in movies like Claudine, where the man would have to hide and all of that, like
Claudine
that
was
was
like shit though. That was a good movie, but
it
you're right.
was, but the reality of it is that before like the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, we were all together. You know what I'm saying? Like we raised our children together. So
Mhm.
even during slavery, even though we didn't own ourselves, we still believed in marriage. We still, that's where jumping the broom came from. So that's how important parenting was and raising children together, being married and being family. So we've strayed, a long way away from that, and we've suffered as a result. Look at our children acting crazy. Okay, people scared to walk down the street. So I mean, and on one hand, yes, we've benefited in that we're more educated now. We make a lot more money now. We don't have to be reliant on men. But on the
Mhm.
other hand, it has had devastating consequences to us and to our children.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I would say, just as like a little caveat, that maybe it wouldn't have been so easy for us to want to do that if we felt like our men were up to par to take care of us and the kids. So
Mhm.
maybe that is what was the triggering factor. I don't know.
That was a long and great answer.
Sorry, friend. Look, you like, really? You went there? I don't know how they came out first, but that's what came out. That's what came out, friend. Like I said, I also started early. Started early. Okay. So what about you? What do you think are what is one of the biggest stresses for you in being in charge?
Having to choose other people over myself.
Who, friend, yes. What they do this? Really, it's this. Well, this is supposed to be eight because that's sign language for eight. But anyway, technicalities. But T is what they also say. You right, friend. So tell me more about that.
I mean, and I know just as well. I know you. Me and you have had several conversations, and I know that you know exactly where I'm coming from. But sometimes you can't do what you want to do for yourself because you got to think of how it's going to affect everyone in your household.
Yes. So
And
let's.
it comes a time when you think to yourself like, oh, I want to do this, but no, I can't do this because I got to make sure this is here for there, and this is here for that person, and this is here for whatever. And so it comes a time when you really say to yourself like, well, damn, I can't do shit. I'm paying all these bills up in here, people under me, but I can't really do shit I want to do.
Mhm.
And
Right.
and it's not to say that I can't say I don't I can't say I enjoy being the head of household, but greatness was thrusted upon me. So, I had to step up to the challenge because who else was gonna do it at that point in time.
Right.
But um having people rely on you
Hmm.
and having to make decisions based off other people who, might I add, are not your children or spouse
Hmm.
can become very difficult at
Hmm.
times.
All right. And let's talk more about that because I would say that when you say not your children, who are you referring to?
I mean, like the people, like I have two, senior citizens here. I have a sister here, and I mean, I have to look at things from a senior citizen standpoint at times.
Hmm.
And I know you got stuff going on in your house as well, which if
Hmm.
you care to,
Of
to
course.
divulge, you can. Um, but I constantly have to make sure that whatever I do won't negatively affect someone else here.
Hmm.
So it comes a point where you kind of neglect yourself, trying to make sure that everyone else is okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
And oh, go
No,
ahead,
what? No,
Jamila.
you go there, friend.
And and I think I really had to find a way to balance everything out.
Hmm.
Me being able to do what I want to do and while still maintaining like good relationships and everybody that's in my household.
Hmm. Yeah. So finding a balance, I would like to hear more about how you've managed to do that. Like, what ways would you say, or things that you've done to help you find the balance? And just before you answer that, so yeah, I do share the caring for seniors in and out of my household,
Hmm.
plus grown children and their children. So I say children like it's plural, but it's
Child.
still like three, different generations up
Right.
under one roof. We're
Hmm.
really
Like
four,
here. Hmm.
including me. Same. So
Hmm.
that going from, very old to very young and still having to make sure, that we taking care of everyone and meeting everyone's needs is, man, it is so challenging. And
It
so
is.
I couldn't agree more that having or carrying the stress of making decisions for everyone
Mm-hmm.
and making sure everyone else is good. Generally, when that's the case, we do suffer. We do have to take a, a back seat, so to speak. And so
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, how have you been able to find balance? I thought that was
Mm-hmm. Well,
interesting.
yeah. So the way that I have found balance is, you know me, I found a way to carve out a space for myself. And like one of the first things that I decided to do was to create a space for myself in my home that was separate from general population, as I call it.
Okay.
And as you know, that's why I had my whole basement redone. I had my whole basement remodeled the way I wanted it. It's my space.
Right.
That's my comfort zone. That's my space to be alone. So that
Okay.
was the first thing that I did. I think the second thing that I did was I started traveling by myself, and I
Oh,
started doing things by myself just to take that time to
for you.
relax and
Okay.
go places and not have to worry about whether or not somebody want to do this or somebody want to do that, and not have to worry about planning a whole big trip around what people want to
Everybody.
do besides myself.
Right.
And
Nice.
so I think those are two, like, and I am a huge advocate, um and a huge fan of solo travel. I'm a huge fan of self dates. I preach that all the time because I feel like overall that's a part of self love, and I have found that those type of things are things you have to do for yourself to
Yes.
keep your balance.
Okay. I've
You
yet to
know.
do I have
Mhm.
yet to do self dates, so
Mhm.
um yeah, I have to incorporate that. I barely go outside unless necessary. So if I am
Yeah,
outside,
yeah. See, that's the difference between you and me, because baby, honey,
you be outside.
your girl loves to be outside.
I don't have the energy to be outside, but I'm
Yeah, I
working on
love
it.
home too, but I love home too. You know that I love home too, but your girl do like to be outside sometimes.
Yeah, it really it's just a physical thing. Like if I felt more enthused, then I would be more outside. But this last year I've worked on just going outside anyway, whether I feel like it or not. And so that has helped me in that I did miss it when, this past month when I was like, I ain't doing nothing, I ain't talking to nobody. I did miss it. So it did help me to do that because I felt like I was doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to, work on what my plan would be for the new year. So I just took a little break. But yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
having a space for yourself that's yours and taking yourself on self dates, like friend
Mm-hmm.
dates, self dates. We're doing all the dates.
Solo travels, girl. You know, honey, I'll leave for 30 days in a minute. So solo travel, I mean, like I said, carving out a space for myself, taking time to like fulfill my own interests and my own hobbies, and
Yes.
just doing little things for myself. And what I do is like every day, like every single day, I try to do something small for myself, whether it's a 45-minute bath, or whether it's, being down here in my office and just painting or working on whatever little craft I'm working on at the time, whether it be in laying on my chase with a glass of wine and reading for a half an hour. I always carve some time out for myself because that is very, very important. And there is a saying that I heard,
Mm-hmm.
and that reigns very true. And it's the saying is that you can't set yourself on fire to keep everybody else warm.
Mm.
And that's one of the things you really have to realize when you're in a household with multiple people.
Yes.
And I think that's something that goes with life anyway, whether it's family relate, well, whether it's family related, whether it's love related, whether it's friendship related,
Right.
that saying can reign true for multiple, multiple
Mhm.
situations. But just, finding that balance in that time, and you know has helped a lot. It
Mhm.
really has helped.
So that you said a couple things. So having hobbies is important. That helps
Having
you.
hobbies is very important.
Yes. And
Taking the time to feed your hobby is very, very, very important. Do the work, do the work that you need to do so that you can be okay. And
Mhm.
on top of that, not only do I do that, but I also talk to a therapist. And I talk to my therapist every 2 weeks because I'm a
Mhm.
huge fan of mental health. Because having the stress of having to work hard, working multiple jobs, multiple full-time jobs, may I add, working hard, having your side hustle. That's a third job in itself. Working
Yes,
on yourself,
mhm,
maintaining a household. Girl, that's enough stress for anybody. So
it
yeah, I
is.
got me a therapist. Yes, I did, for stress management, and to just help, and just to have like an unbiased person
Mhm.
to talk to. And
Yeah,
she's been my therapist for 2 years, and I straight legit love her. She is wonderful.
that's
And so
awesome.
I'm a huge component of that too. Like,
Mhm.
get you some help,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
I couldn't agree more. When I was a part of that writing project, How to Build a Bridge and Get Over It,
Mm-hmm.
my section was about self-abandonment. And when we started, not touring, but we made some appearances or whatever. And one of the things that I really promoted was getting help. Like telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that finger ashy. And getting help. Like tell the truth to yourself about what's really happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then go tell somebody else that can help you. Like for the most
Mm-hmm.
part, I feel like a lot of women, we have that strong black woman syndrome, and we feel like, especially if you are the one that everyone leans on, everyone comes to, that solve problems and get advice from. So
Mm-hmm.
generally, in my experience, those women have very few people, if any, that they can also turn to do the
Tell me
same
about
thing.
it. Tell me about it. You better
because
speak. You better speak, friend. Tell me about it.
because when I'm in the middle of going through my stuff, I be thinking like, who should I call? And then when I think of you, I'm like, friend, got enough going on. Like I think of the
Don't you
women
ever
that I
feel
think
like
of.
that. Don't you ever feel like that? Because I'm always, now, if you don't know
I,
one
I
thing
do
about
know,
your girl.
but when I'm in the middle of something that like
Mhm.
we already have discussed what probably should happen with this situation, but I'm still in this situation. You know
Right.
what I'm
I
saying?
mean, yeah, it's just,
So this is just one of the days in the situation. So I know, in general, what someone would tell me that already knows what is happening.
mhm,
But like you said, having an unbiased opinion is also helpful, because I just started, with a new therapist, sort of like I'm testing her out to see what's up. But
mhm,
I do believe in therapy, but I also like to hear, to get as you say, unbiased opinion. And
mhm,
so, in explaining my situation, she was just like floored and just like,
mhm,
so it helped me that having a perfect stranger hear my situation and was like, damn, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'll be like, you just being a punk, like toughen up.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And then realizing like, no, this really is a lot. It's a lot. Okay. So, and then giving myself some grace as a result, so I can
mhm,
have some space to pivot, mentally, emotionally, financially, etc.
mhm,
So, hobbies are great, self dates are great, doing physical things to care for yourself,
mhm,
and also, seeking help or whatever. I feel like all of those things are really, really important. And those are things that we should be encouraged to do when we're much younger,
mhm, mhm.
so that
And I,
we're in
mhm,
a habit of it.
mhm. And and I know that, and during these times, I know people trying to save money. Everybody can't afford to just take themselves out and spend a whole bunch of money on themselves. And I understand it. But even if you just take the time to go for a walk,
Yes.
go for a walk, go sit your ass in your car and play
Yes.
your music. Cause I have done that.
I was going to say, now I do that. Now
I
that
have,
I
oh,
will
I
do.
know,
I
because
go
me and
grab
you done
me.
talked on, we done had some car phone conversations. So I
Yes.
know. Sit your ass in the car. I
Yes.
mean, just take you a minute.
Yes.
Even if you ain't got no place to go in your house and you got multiple people in your house, grab you a bottle, grab you a shot, get your ass in your car, listen to your music for about 30 minutes,
Yes.
decompress,
Yes.
decompress. And
Don't
then
drink and drive. Look, we don't
right,
advocate that. Don't go far. Okay.
go far. But um and another thing that I also want to mention, which this is a whole different topic, but you mentioned that, who can you call? Who can you call when you're having problems and you need somebody to talk to? And now me on the sense, I'm going to say that not only do I have a therapist, but I do have somebody who I'm extremely close to, who I can, an older person, somebody that's a little older than me, who I
Yes.
can call and vent to. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I'm very thankful for that. But when you mention talking to somebody, I've been all in this self-help book. And one of the things that they mentioned, if you're going to talk to somebody, make sure you talk to somebody that's going to validate your feelings.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Not somebody that's going to tell you everything that they feel like you doing wrong. Make sure you're going to speak to somebody that's going to validate your feelings and say, you know what, I understand, or I don't understand how you feel, or I understand how you feel, and it's going to be this and it's going to be that, and you're doing a great job and you're this. Don't talk to nobody if you can't get that. If you
Interesting.
can't get that support that you need, don't talk to that person. Like,
Hmm.
don't call a person and vent so they can tell you everything they feel like you should be doing based off their opinion instead of listening to how you actually feel.
Hmm. Yeah, well, a couple of things come to mind when you say that. The first thing is, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's absolutely, helpful, and it should be, what the goal is. But like, what if you're a
Mhm.
person that's on bullshit, and so all of the things that's happening to you is a result of you having been on bullshit or being a terrible person, and
Well,
so in that case, you
right.
you
You
might
being a terrible, right. You being a terrible person and being on bullshit,
right,
that's a whole different discussion. That's a
yeah,
whole nother topic. But
it's
yeah,
true,
I mean, and don't
but
get me
I
wrong, there
guess
are
what it
plenty of
is,
people. There
yeah,
are plenty of people on bullshit, and and they talk to you, and you be looking like,
right,
yeah, okay,
okay,
but
right. But I
honey,
guess,
I know, honey, some people that I'm like, are you serious? But okay, but I mean, there are plenty of people who talk to other people who are on bullshit. That's a whole different topic. I'm talking about when somebody legitimately is going through something,
yeah, I,
especially something in their household.
yeah, I was just kind of, playing devil's advocate.
I
As
know,
soon,
and I love it. I love it
as
because
soon as you said it, for some reason that popped
like
up. But
bullshit, bullshit.
because sometimes people, they are the, I mean, a lot of us, we're the creators of our own chaos for the most part. But
That is true.
sometimes,
But
people lack
like I
accountability.
said, friend, that's another the creators of chaos
Yeah, that's another thing.
and scared and brokenness. That's a whole nother topic that we gonna touch on another day.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, so I do agree that the validation is really important, and also someone that it can actually help you.
Exactly.
Sometimes the help is just somebody listening and validating. Sometimes that
Right,
really
and
is.
I learned that a lot of people really don't want your advice.
Yeah.
They just want somebody to listen to them and tell them it's going to be okay. And
Yes.
I think, we're going to do we'll do another discussion about lessons learned over the years. And we'll touch on that, um, about learn how to give advice when asked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not
Absolutely.
just blurt the shit out. Because a lot of times people don't want your advice. They just want somebody to say, you know what, it's going to be okay.
Yes.
So that'll be a subject for another day, friend.
Yeah. That sounds good. And I that's something I have to work on because I'm quick to give advice. I'm a problem solver.
No, and I am too. I am too. Girl, listen.
Yeah.
I would step in so fast and try to help you out, but I had to learn to step back. So I get it. I do. And I know you're a helper. I know, honey. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, friend. But
I, I
anyway,
I I know you're a helper. But my last question for you
ooh,
is: so, what are your plans for this year in terms of just keeping your balance and maintaining self care while running a household? So, what do you plan to do for yourself, for Sonia, this year?
well, what a great question. And thank you for asking. Well, one of the plans is actually honoring my own personal commitments for my fun things, my projects, and just, any events that I want to attend. I'm so, I I may always I like I'm constantly having to reschedule or push stuff back or another day because of what is going on.
Mhm,
And although I'm still, I still do my best to honor those things, I'm trying now to be like, do I really need to be a part of this?
mhm,
And
mhm,
to think more about myself first and see, like, is this something, do I really need to reschedule this? Or can I just, do something else? Also, just making other arrangements for care for other folks.
okay, friend. Yes, yes. I'm rooting for you on that. I am root.
Yeah.
I am, girl.
Because the
Honey.
girl is
I am.
researching and
I know.
saving her
I
coins
know.
so that she can put some things together.
I know.
Because,
I'm rooting for you, boo.
yes, but also being more expressive about what I actually need
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm not going to do no more.
Mm-hmm.
So soon as I articulated, yeah, I'm not going to do this no more, or, I do need this, then I started getting that. And then people stop expecting me to do those things. So that
Mm-hmm.
I, realized I was contributing to my own demise, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
that respect, that I wasn't honoring myself. I just was so used to doing that when I
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel like doing, instead of being like, hey, I don't feel like it, I just would do it anyway. But when it came down to me, I would be like, I don't feel like it and don't do it. So I said, yeah, I'm not doing that no more. If it's something that I need to do for myself that I don't feel like doing, I'm still going to do it, and I make everything else optional if I'm going to do it or not, as opposed
Okay.
to how, the other way around. And then
Mm-hmm.
lastly is to, pick something that really, really excites me to be a part of. Like this,
Yeah.
our little adventure here is exciting. And, I
And you
have,
know my friend dates.
yes, whether look virtually or especially in person.
Okay. And
But
trust me,
yeah,
when we record in person, it's on and popping.
yeah. So,
But
but
we
yeah,
all got to start from zero. We all got to start from one. So,
absolutely. And I'm proud of us because we could have been like, hey, it's snowing. We're not gonna be able to get together. Let's not do it. But you know me, I'm trying to done is better than, perfection. Long as we're in the process. Because this is the first episode. How many people gonna actually watch it? Maybe two. So
I don't know, maybe more than that. Maybe more than that. Because as the algorithm, goes up or whatever, people go back and review past videos. So you be surprised, at how
I
many
mean
people,
later, yes. And I'm
later
not
on
saying
down, later on down the road.
yes. And that will be good because they can, when we say, oh, we started this way, then they'll be like, oh, that's true because we went back and looked and they did. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's just one of those success principles that I'm just trying to stay committed to. That's the other thing, is really, letting my yes mean yes. And I'm gonna be
No
saying,
mean no.
yeah, but I'm gonna be saying no far more.
Okay, so
Far more.
that's a good strategy. That's a very good strategy. Saying no to what you really don't want to do is a very, very, very good strategy.
Yeah, but it's hard because the people that are asking me, I would say yes. I want to say yes. You know what I'm saying? But I have to be, like really, really holding on to my time and my focus so that it's not scattered, so that the things that I really want to put energy into, that those are the things that get it. And not
Mhm,
just because someone asked me to do it, though they're my friend or family and I love them and I want to help or support, but to
mhm,
really be like, can I pay the price for that? Like, is that gonna mess up my stuff? Because I
mhm.
normally wouldn't think of myself first, but I'm doing that now.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so
Well,
yeah.
good for you. Well, friend, it's been real.
Yes, friend. 30 minutes. That's about good enough time. We can look talk, finish the rest of our day, talk
Right,
for real.
right.
For